Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to review episode 4 of season 2 of Twenties. Yes, I have these fake glasses on. Yes, there's a reflection. Yes, I look crazy. And yes, this bitch above me is still very loud. Okay, so we open up with Marie and Chuck. Chuck mentions this 6-month marital counseling that they have to go to. Marie asked Chuck why he was so late coming to bed, and he just basically said he was catching up with Chance, and it looks like Marie is a little suspicious of that situation. More on that later on. So then we have Hattie dropping off a package at the studio at, I think it's called Monument Pictures. The logo looks similar to Paramount Pictures, but she drops off a package. Courtney picks it up, and as a pleasant surprise, Courtney actually says she misses Hattie instead of giving her the same old attitude that she usually gives her. And Hattie then, says, "I miss you too," which is cool. So Nia's Instagram gets verified. She lets her yoga class know. She's just jumping for joy, and one of the attendees says something like, "Well, I hope the price isn't going up." And Nia says no at first, but then she's like, "Well, you also have to know my worth and know my worth as a black woman, so if it were to go up, don't be talking shit in the comments." Which, I don't know, like, even before she said that, when the woman said, "I hope the price doesn't go up," it's like a double-edged sword, to where it's like it's annoying when prices do go up for yoga classes or hairstylists or whatever, but then it's like they also have to pay their bills, and I don't know, that doesn't mean that you have to hike up the prices, because if you become more popular, then that's more people who are going to attend your yoga class, and that's more money for you. You don't necessarily have to hike up the price, but I feel like she might hike up her prices. So then we get to the marital counseling, and this reverend gives Chuck and Marie this questionnaire form to look at their strengths and weaknesses in their relationship. So then we go to the writers group that Hattie has joined, that's led by Idina, and Hattie she doesn't understand the assignment. She didn't read anybody's script, so she can't have an opinion or critique anybody's script. And Idina kind of gets on her about this, but and she also said, Hattie has a bunch of excuses, and Idina's like, "We don't do excuses in this little group that I have." So basically Idina's like, "We'll give you another chance." She leaves it up to the group to decide as well, and they're going to give Hattie another chance. And I think Hattie says something like, "I like that you hold me accountable," because Hattie, like, come on, at least read the damn script, at least read one script. I don't know. So hopefully this goes well. But I definitely noticed that Idina definitely, I think she definitely has feelings for Hattie. You can just tell the way that she looks at her. And even going back to, I think this is episode 4, so I think episode 3 or 2, when Hattie came to the coffee shop and Idina asked her what was wrong, Hattie, she mentioned that she was talking to some woman, and they showed Idina's face, and it seemed like she was a little disappointed, I guess. So and of course, when Hattie left her apartment, she seemed like, at least Idina seemed to kind of like ponder on when she left. I think she definitely has feelings for her, but Hattie's with Ida right now. I don't know if they'll end up together, but I feel like the show is hinting like something. So then we get to Hattie with her UPS job and her little Louis Anderson Ma baskets. He was being kind of shady, because he was like, "I have good news and bad news." It's like, the good news is that your training is complete and you can earn money, but the bad news is that I'm not going to hire you. Like, what? What is that? But he was just saying kind of the same things I was saying last review. She talks too much, she's always on her phone, which is true. Like, you can't put your phone down for like 2 hours. Like, just like I said before, just take the package to the door. It's that simple. But I guess he just didn't hire her at all, because then she was like, can I call you back? And he's just like, no, when I hang up, I'm going to block you. Hattie just don't get it. So then we get back to the marital counseling, and the Rev, I think they were a Reverend, they told Marie and Chuck their results, and the fact that they were highly compatible in several areas, and these areas were family, thoughts on family, and finances, but they were weak in the sex department. And so Marie checked that sex is a low priority, and then Chuck put that it was high priority. And then also the Rev talked about their thoughts on sexual desires and communicating their sexual desires to each other, and Chuck basically put that he's fairly comfortable. At first he put, I think, highly comfortable, but he changed it to fairly comfortable. And so they were just talking about that, and the Rev was basically saying, sex is nothing to be ashamed of, and you guys need to talk about this. So then Chuck says something like, maybe we shouldn't get married. I was just like, and then he comes out as bisexual, but Marie says she knows. She's like, I know. Chuck basically says, because the Rev was saying, like, this is fine. Just because you're bisexual doesn't mean you can't get married. And that's what I said. I was like, because he said, maybe we should get married because I'm bi. And I'm like, well, if you're telling the whole truth, you like men and women. And so the bigger thing is that, you still like women. So do you like Marie? And it seems like he does. So, but I know, not every woman is okay with being with a bisexual man. And that's honestly what I had mentioned, I think, last season, when I said I didn't really like the storyline, and I thought a better storyline would be for him to be bisexual. But then I was like, I couldn't see Marie dating a bisexual man. But now we see that she's okay with it, which is good. And he says something like, he spent his whole life being straight. He doesn't really understand or know how to navigate being bisexual. And the Rev said sexuality rarely is black and white, because it is. I say that all the time. Well, I say that about a lot of things, but a lot of people are like, you're either this or you're that, or you're this or you're that, or you do this but you like this, or you have sex with men but you're not gay, or blah 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 blah. It's not black or white, so it's complex, because humans are complex. I don't understand how everything else can be complex, like viruses and animals and nature, but people don't think that humans and sexuality and gender identity and sex can be complex. So, and the Rev said it took me so long to be comfortable in my own body, and there's no rush, which is very good. I'm glad that they picked this person, just because they could have picked somebody else who just didn't understand sexuality and maybe would have agreed with Chuck that the marriage wouldn't have worked. But it's all about communication. And the Rev also said, don't show up. If you don't show up as authentic, it will fail. So last episode, I felt as though they should have communicated better. I felt that Chuck and Marie should have sat down, had a conversation, and they would have gotten to the bottom of why at least Marie isn't satisfied with Chuck, and then he could also say what he's really feeling, who he's really into. I didn't think that he was bisexual. I thought he was gay. So I thought that it would come out that he was gay, and then that the relationship wasn't going to work out. But instead he came out as bisexual. So I appreciate that. I guess I can skip to the end, I appreciate that they had the conversation about their relationship towards the end of the episode, and how this entire time they've been treating their relationship like just like a checklist. They're just checking things off instead of actually communicating to each other, talking with each other, getting to know each other, having those honest conversations, because if, you know, Marie knew that Chuck was bisexual, she should have spoke to him about it. And maybe that's what she's been feeling this entire time as far as getting cold feet. Maybe she was, instead of her getting cold feet and not wanting to be with him, maybe it was just her trying to figure out how she was going to talk with him about his sexuality. But there's still the part of her not enjoying the sex and having to think about Quintrell to have an orgasm. So that's a big thing, which, you know, she suggested that they explore more and they need to be honest, and as long as everybody's safe, she's good. So I don't know if that means that they're just gonna take a break and explore, and she's gonna sleep with Quintrell and her boss, and then he's gonna sleep with Chance or whoever he wants to sleep with, or if it means that they'll be in an open relationship. Hopefully it works. I don't know how that's going to resolve her sex with Chuck. I mean, maybe if he's able to do what he wants with other people, he'll be able to satisfy her, I guess. I don't know if that's how that works. So then we have Nia. Nia has been looking cute every episode. I loved this outfit that she had while she was walking. Was she taking pictures of herself? I don't know. I think she was just on her phone. But that, with her ponytail, all that, the outfit and her hairstyle when she met Ben at the bar, she was just looking really cute. So they walk and talk. Ben and Nia walk and talk. Ben is still talking about this black trauma stuff, and he has this conversation with Nia about like roles. So like roles that she wants to play, and so she says she wants, you know, to play characters that have layers, and he was just like, no, you should keep it simple. Like, again, why is he so two-dimensional? I don't know. And she's like, I want to be challenged. And he's like, well, what if the audience doesn't want to be challenged? And she was like, well, how am I going to grow if I'm not challenged? I don't know if the character that Nia is playing on this show is complicated or layered, but hopefully she'll get the opportunity to play layered characters, because yes, if you don't have that, then you don't grow. So then Nia and Ben meet at a bar, and I'm just thinking like, Ben, you're in a relationship. And so Nia, that was one of the first things that she asked about, and he just basically said him and Lauren have gone as far as they can go. They're just going through the motions. Well, you need to let her know that before you start going out on dates with other people. So, and he said that he liked Nia, that she was calm, she isn't afraid to follow her dreams, which, I mean, the calm part is definitely the opposite of Lauren. But I feel like Lauren's probably following her dreams. I mean, she's in film and writing right now, so, but I don't know. He's liking Nia right now, but I'm not liking this relationship. So Nia, please do not go further with Ben. I beg of you. So then we have Ida and Hattie going out to eat after Hattie basically, she didn't get fired per se, they just didn't hire her, but they go to the seafood restaurant and they have a private space just for themselves. And even before Hattie said it, I was just kind of like, Ida, are you doing this because you don't want anybody to see you guys together? And so that's exactly what Hattie asked. She was like, you know, are you doing this because you want to be romantic or because you want to be private? And so they get into this whole conversation about privacy aspect of Ida, but also her privilege. And so Hattie was basically saying, you know, the way you walk out, like, we live in two different worlds. You know, you're, you know, light skin, curly hair, straight presenting versus me. I don't think she said dark skin, but you know, like dark skin. I'm black. People know I'm gay, so we're treated differently. And so I guess she just wanted her to understand that about the two of them, and she wanted her to, first of all, acknowledge that, because Ida's response to it was kind of like, well, I'm sorry that I don't look gay, and I'm sorry that I'm mixed, basically. Like, what? And I understand her saying, like, I don't understand it per se, but her saying like, what do you want me to do about it? But Hattie wants you, Hattie's like, I want you to acknowledge it, but also because Ida's basically like, I've shared a lot and I want to keep some things private, and Hattie's like, you can be discreet without disowning who you are, and Ida's like, I can work on that. So I guess in a way, maybe I'm wrong, but I think Hattie feels like, for one, obviously that Ida is hiding the relationship, but also maybe she doesn't want to what's the word, like almost like she doesn't want to taint her image, because she has that image of being whatever you want to call straight presenting and light skinned, and Hattie's like, you almost like, you want to keep this image, you want to keep this perfect image, and you don't want to be seen with little old me. That's what it seemed like to me. And Ida's more like, well, I want privacy. And like Hattie said, you can be private without hiding yourself. That's what I got from it. And Ida also talked about breaking the glass ceiling and how you could get bruised by it, which a little bit of a tragic mulatto stuff, but it's almost like, a lot of times with things with Black people in Hollywood or anything, a lot of times more mixed people, lighter skinned people, biracial people, ambiguous people, especially women, are the first to do things. And so Ida's basically like, yes, I have that privilege of being mixed, but then I also have to deal with probably still, obviously racism and sexism, being lonely, while also being the first to do whatever, which, is true. Nobody's taking that away from you, but you still have privilege. But I like that they were able to really talk to each other and have a honest conversation. And at least on Ida's part, she's, it seemed like she listened, and she stated that she was going to work on whatever she needs to work on. And then Hattie said that she appreciated the tough love from Ida, but she kind of has to go and do things on her own, figure it out on her own. And Ida's basically like, part of that is me trying to protect you, the tough love. Ida's older than Hattie, so it's like she's more experienced just in relationships, but also this career, so she does want to protect her. So her way of protection is tough love, because it's definitely tough. The relationship is definitely starting to grow on me. Hopefully it works out, and hopefully Hattie can get a job doing what she wants to do, but just even outside of writing, like something to pay the bills. And hopefully she gets it together with the script and the writing group as well. So this episode was okay. I will say, like I said, Ida and Hattie's relationship is growing on me. Nia and Ben, they are not. I don't want to see that. And then Chuck and Marie is definitely a pleasant surprise, the way that the direction that they're going towards. Tell me below, do you think that Chuck, because I hate that my mind even goes to the fact, like, do you feel like he'll say that he's gay? Because now that I'm thinking about it, when he spoke to Chance, he didn't say, maybe I'm missing something. Did they say that they were both gay, or did they just say they like men? Because I don't remember him saying he was bisexual. I would have remembered that last episode. So hopefully this works out. It could work out, but I don't know. Knowing this show, I just feel like there's going to be more issues down the line. But like I was saying before, I don't see Marie being with the other. She could possibly get with the boss, but I couldn't see her being in a relationship with Quintrell. I could see her having sex with him, but not being in a relationship. Now, the white guy, I don't want her to be with him, but I could see her, but they work together, so I don't know how that would work. My point is that when I was thinking about the white guy and Quintrell for Marie, I was like, I don't see either one of them being with Marie. So it's funny that I thought that, because I don't think that's the direction that the show is going. I think it's just going to be sex, and then she's going to come back to Chuck, hopefully. But there might be some drama in there, and he might end up with Chance, because Marie said we can explore, and then as long as we're being safe, we're good. But we all know how these things happen. Whether you're dealing with a man, woman, or whoever, you could fall in love with them. So that could possibly happen in this relationship too. And for me, I feel that's more on Chuck's side, because it definitely seemed like him and Chance had a deeper connection than just sexual, like a sexual relationship. I don't think it was just like a sexual thing. I think that they're connected on a deeper level. But when I think of Marie and Contrell, I think of sex. I don't know what I think about her and the white guy, so we'll see. That's about it. If you like this review and these glasses, like, comment, and subscribe, and look forward to my review of episode 5 of season 2 of 20s. Thanks for watching.